Hi, I'm Christina.
And I'm Maya from Bookworm Dreams, and this is the 25 bookish facts about me tag, right?
Yes.
Yes, so there are two of us, so we won't do 50, and we decided to do 26. So 13 facts for Christina, 13 facts for me, and Christina will start.
I will start. Okay, so the first bookish fact about me is that I really love paperbacks. I don't care much for hardcovers, just I find them very difficult to manage, so I love paperbacks. There you go.
Okay, first fact about me. The first book I ever read was The Wonderful Adventures of Apprentice Chlapić by Ivana Brlić-Mažuranić.
Second fact, I really hate dog ears. I really wish people would always use bookmarks. I am a stickler for bookmarks, and I really don't like when, like people destroy books.
It's just a little thingy to...
Fine, I personally don't like that.
I don't do that, so... Okay.
But it's okay if you do. That's perfectly fine. It's just a pet peeve
just
of mine.
Just don't do it to her books.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, okay. Second fact about me. I read mostly fantasy, urban fantasy, and science fiction.
Third fact. I'm actually a librarian. I studied librarianship at university. I even worked at the university.
That's called librarianship?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Or library science. It's either of the two
cool.
Here in Croatia,
you
where
learn
we are.
something new every day.
And yes, I worked as a librarian for 5 years at the university library.
Cool. My third bookish fact is that my most read author is Jim Butcher. He's pretty awesome.
She talks a lot about him. So
well, he is pretty awesome, so yeah.
Fourth fact, I read books in English, Italian, and Croatian because those are the languages that I know. And I try to read books that are not in a language that I know in Croatian because I'm really bad at reading Croatian books. So I mostly read English books. So I'm trying to nurture our language, our mother language, and I'm trying to read at least more books in Croatian.
You not that. Good for you.
I'm trying. It's an effort. I'm trying.
Alright, next bookish fact about me is that my books have to have dragons in it.
Oh, yes.
Yes. We've recently been doing a challenge where you have to read many sorts of books, and my main complaint was, well, this book was fine, but it had no dragons in it, so I didn't like it.
It's just all the time. Where are the dragons?
Where? They're pretty cool. They make things interesting, so, Yeah.
So, five. We have the fifth fact. I really don't like poetry. I don't get it, and I'm sorry that I don't get it because I realize that it has big value, but I just don't get it. And it's funny because when I was in elementary school, I actually have written poems then, and one of them actually got published.
Really?
Yes.
And you hate it.
Well, let's just say my teacher had some influence on how it ended up looking, so yeah.
Alright. My next fact is that I watched the movies before I read the Lord of the Rings books. It's easier that way, just at least for epic fantasy. You can imagine stuff better. I mean, obviously in the books, Aragorn looks like Boromir and Boromir looks like Aragorn. In
Really?
The movies, yeah. Aragorn is like...
That.
Aragorn is like, has blonde hair and Boromir has dark hair. So yeah, but all the other stuff is pretty cool when you can imagine Karl Urban as Eomer and stuff. That's awesome.
Well, I actually did the same, so
yeah,
that's okay.
Cool.
Number 6. I really like to have the same edition of, if it's a series, I like to have the same editions, and I have a big problem when I don't have the same editions, and I accidentally bought one series like that, and now I hate how it looks on my bookshelf. Like, I literally hate it. There's 2 books. The first and the third in the series are like this high, and then the middle one is like a centimeter lower, and I just hate it. Yes, it looks like a wave. I don't really like, and it's one of my favorite series, so
Okay.
it's hard. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna do 2 facts now because they're connected. My first fact, don't laugh. This is sad. Okay, so my first fact is I don't like The Hobbit, the book. It's really, it's a children's book. And it just, you know, it doesn't have all the things that the Lord of the Rings books have. And my second fact is that I wrote my master thesis on Bilbo Baggins. So yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think that's where my hate for the, not hate, dislike for the book comes from. Because I had to read it over and over again and stuff. So yeah.
So those are like, what were those? 6 and 7?
Yes.
Yeah, I think. So related to that, my 7th fact is that I really don't like Tolkien. I really don't. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I actually read The Lord of the Rings. I read The Hobbit. I really hate The Hobbit. I read it for like 3 weeks. It has 120 pages.
Yeah.
3 weeks. And I don't know, I don't feel his writing style. I can't. I realize that it's really one of
the first fantasy book.
Yeah, it's like, it's a classic. I realize that, I appreciate that. It's just not a classic for me. Yeah.
Okay, I can understand your dislike of Tolkien.
Oh, and since you did too, another classic related fact about me is that apparently I have really big problems pronouncing Jane Eyre. Really, really big problems. I most often pronounce it as Jane Eyre. I don't know why, but you know, it's a thing you learned, and now I'm trying to unlearn it and say Jane Eyre. But
now we find out that Jane Eyre is the wrong way to say Jane Eyre. We should listen to like a Scottish person say it.
Oh.
I think that would be the best way.
That would help, yeah.
Alright, so that's me now?
Yes.
So I think this is, I don't lost
10.
count.
I think it's 10.
I like fan fiction. I do like fan fiction. It's sometimes when you're in a reading slump and you have like a bunch of big books to read, I think it's easier to read a story about your favorite characters and relationships than trying to read the real books and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. Fan fiction is way awesome.
I'm sharing this fact with her. That is also my 10th fact, because when I'm in a slump, it's just what I gravitate to, and I think people should appreciate it more, because people really write books.
Yeah.
And they sometimes are much better than anything you could read that is actually published. So if you don't know what fan fiction is, go check it out. It's such a big community. It has such wonderful stories about characters that you actually love. So just go and check it out.
You know, when there's like a moment you wish happened between two characters, there's like a billion people who wrote that moment in various different ways, and all of them interesting to read, so that's why fanfiction is pretty awesome.
Yes.
Alright.
Then we have, I think it's, maybe that's 10. Oh,
I have no idea.
Anyways.
Whose turn is it?
Mine.
No, I just said you liked fanfiction as well.
Okay.
So it's my turn.
Okay.
Okay. I got into audiobooks during college. I had to travel an hour to college. And so on the ride there and waiting for classes to start and between classes and waiting for my ride back. So I got into audiobooks and I listened to the most, I think 80% of the Suki Stackhouse series on audiobooks during college, which was pretty interesting when I'm waiting outside and Suki's having sex with whatever creature of the book was. And that was pretty like, okay, and you see your professor, hi. Yeah. So, and also listened to the Jim Butcher books during college as well.
Jim Butcher.
Yes, James Masters does a fantastic job on the Harry Dresden Files books, and he's pretty awesome. The one book that he didn't read as an audiobook, I bought the physical copy so I can read it, because I tried listening to the other guy doing it. I was like, no, that's not Harry Dresden. James Masters is Harry Dresden. So yeah, that's my fact.
My fact. I really wish I could own a bookstore, a used bookstore, general books, just a bookstore. This is really difficult here in Croatia, so that's probably a dream that's not gonna happen, but it's nice to think about it and dream that one day you could just walk into your own bookstore and have like a little nook where you could read and talk to the customers and give recommendations. I would really love that.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. What's your fact?
I don't like 80s fantasy book covers. Now, if you Google Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and you see the books are pretty cool, but the covers are just horrible. And most of the fantasy from that period has really crappy covers. And some of today's also have. It's really, time specific.
What you don't like about it?
It's like, first of all, it's very I don't want to say artsy, but it's not artsy. It's like, you know how Ljubici?
Romance novels.
Romance novels, yes. How they have covers of that dude with the shirt off and the girl is like just this.
Okay.
So basically for Wheel of Time, you have the main character Rand. The first book is him standing, I think it's the first book, him standing on a rock, no shirt like this, with a sword or something, or is it someone else? Like this, and it's horrible. I'm like waiting for if there's like a anniversary edition, so you can have like more modern stuff. That's why I like Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson book covers are so cool. It's like it's not defined. It's very like murky, foggy, not defined stuff. It's pretty awesome. Cool. But 80s fantasy stuff is horrible.
So we have to mention Harry Potter because that's the books we grew up on, basically. So I just wanted to say that I'm a proud Ravenclaw.
That's because I'm a Hufflepuff and I don't like it. Their color is yellow. It's yellow.
I love yellow personally.
I like yellow on my nails, and that's basically it. And I like not Ravenclaw. I like Slytherin because first of all they're mean, but
she's really a nice person. So
I like their colors. I'm like very color oriented. Like they have silver and dark green, which I love, and they have yellow. But yeah, I'm a Hufflepuff, so I like to help other people and stuff.
That's true.
Okay, I'm not Gryffindor because I'm not very they're brave and stuff. I need to psych myself up to talk to somebody on the phone. Like when I have to call someone somebody to come and check something in the house. Okay, Maya, write down the thing you're going to say. Okay, then they will say oh my god. So yeah. Hufflepuff here.
Okay, next one.
Oh me. I want to own the 20th edition Harry Potter books, but I can't because I already have 2 editions at home. I got the original ones that they were coming out in Croatia, and then I got what's the one you have? The one you have, but I have it in Croatian. Bloomsbury ones. Those are pretty awesome. I have those in Croatian, the entire series. I went looking for them specifically to buy them all, and then the fucking 20th edition stuff came, and they're also cool in Hufflepuff colors, not only in Slytherin. And they're very awesome. And both in the whole, there's the difference between the hardcover and the paperback. So I want to have both of them.
And she has a really mean twin sister who doesn't let her buy stuff.
No, she doesn't.
Because,
she's like, no.
Because she already buys a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so it's like, no, walk away.
walk away. She's dragging her away. No, you have enough. Okay, so my fact is that I read before I go to sleep, and I usually fall asleep very fast. And the last book I remember didn't do that to me. It's not that the books are bad, it's just me.
You're tired.
I'm tired. But the last actually series that kept me up the entire night for 3 days, because there are 3 books, is the Hunger Games series. I literally read them in 3 days. I stayed up until 6 in the morning for the first one. Although I had classes and everything, it was so good. I just binge read all of them.
Those are a pretty fast read.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. Okay, now I'm at my last fact. Are you at your last
yes.
fact? Okay, so my last fact, bookish fact about me, is that I don't do cover buys. Like if I see a book, it has a nice cover, okay, if I have never heard of it before, I'm not gonna buy it. Like I have to at least, I've heard it mentioned somewhere. So it can't be like, oh look, shiny. Buy. So yeah, I don't do cover buys. So that's my last fact.
Yeah. And my last fact is my book that I have most reread book. And it's a book that just came into my life at precisely the right time. So I basically love it and reread it because I remember how much it meant to me at the time when I first read it. And that is Cecilia Ahern's Where Rainbows End, or Love, Rosie. I have this edition, and I absolutely, genuinely love this book. I love the writing style, I love the story, I love everything about it. I even love the movie.
There's a movie?
Yes! Sam Claflin's in it.
Oh, please. I don't like him.
Really? Well, I didn't know that. Well, anyways, those are, well, we hope those were 26 facts about us.
Yes.
And we hope you like this video.
Okay, please like, subscribe, and do whatever you want. You can share even the video if you want.
Yes, you can comment, we can talk, tell us some bookish facts about yourself.
Yes.
And that's it for this video, and we will see you in our next one.
Bye.
Bye.